you feel like giving up, listen to me. It's not that your dreams are too big, it's that your standard is too low. You have a low standard for yourself. And here's the thing, I completely understand wanting to give up because when you don't make progress, when you put in the work, man, that feels like fucking shit. That feels like you're putting all this work but you're getting no return from it. Yeah, it sucks. But here's where people go wrong. They do all these things, they have all this motivation, but they don't have discipline. They have these dreams, but they don't have a plan to get there. So in this video, I'm gonna give you a system that's gonna work when you feel like giving up. So you don't just move on when that motivation fades. Okay? Now, the first thing you need to understand is your goals. They are great. You have great dreams, but the thing is, you're trying to do all of these hard tasks at once. Here's the thing, man. Focus on one. Okay? If your main goal is, dropping body fat, packing on muscle, building that confidence so you can feel better, look better in the mirror, wake up, go to the beach, enjoy time with your wife, maybe attract a dream wife, all these things, it takes a lot to do that because building a dream physique, it's not easy. A Greek god, next level physique, that's hard to do. Now, if you're trying to do all these things at once, like a crazy diet where it's carnivore and you're trying to do 2 hours of cardio a day and you're doing the gym every 7 days a week, like twice a day, all this stuff, like it's gonna be too much for you all at once. You gotta work your way up to that. And here's the thing, well, you don't even need to do that. That's overkill. What if I told you you could just go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week for an hour, train hard, stay active, have the foods you enjoy, but make sure you're in a calorie deficit if you need to lose fat, or make sure you're tracking your food. That's really all it takes. But the thing is, you've been told this bad advice that you have to do all this, and then you feel like shit when you don't do it, don't you? You feel like you're not pushing yourself hard enough. And then that makes you want to give up even more. One day you slip up, maybe one day you don't do the gym or you eat clean, and that takes a hit on your confidence. You're like, oh fuck, what am I doing? And then that sign, that's where you want to give up. But listen, should you be perfect 100% of the time? Should you be aiming for that? Absolutely. That should be the goal, because think about it. Think about where you would be 3 months from now if you didn't have those nights where you get blackout drunk, where you have an extra beer, or if you didn't have those nights where you watch Netflix, binge eat, or have a cheat meal, whatever, set yourself back, and then smoke weed, all these things. Think about that. If you didn't have those nights, and if you just stuck to the plan, you just trained as hard as you could for 1 hour, ate a pretty clean diet, get the 10K steps, stay somewhat active, not sedentary. Think about all of those days and just stacking them up. Now, 3 months ago, if you did that and you didn't screw up, where would you be from now? Where would you be? You would be a completely different person. What happens if you do fuck up and you slip up on your diet and you have an extra cheat meal when you know you shouldn't? You're setting yourself back, and that should motivate you to not want to fuck up, because every time you do that, you're setting yourself back from the dream physique you could be having. Now, I do think you should have somewhat of a balance, because if you're doing all these things at once, 2 hours of cardio, whatever, your routine is too extreme, and then, well, maybe you're craving sugar, and the reason why is because your diet is too clean, or you're too restrictive on yourself, or you're starving yourself too hard. Well, then it's going to be super easy to give up, because you don't have any sort of balance. Because we're all human at the end of the day. Everybody isn't 100% perfect 100% of the time. But the thing is, the successful guys, they have systems in place where they can they can go out with their friends and still hit their goals. They can go out, have a little bit of ice cream on a date with a girl and still hit their goals, because they have everything else in place. They've got the gym in place. They've built up the muscle mass so they can have, a little bit of a cheat meal here and there. That's not going to hurt them because everything else is so clean. They're already sleeping 8 hours a night. They already are doing their cardio, maybe, if that's on their plan, and hitting 10K steps, staying active, being an athlete, right? When you live like an athlete, you can have more flexibility. It's okay. It's okay to have ice cream as long as you fit it into your macros. It's okay. You don't have to go on the carnivore diet. And maybe that does work for some people, but most likely probably won't work for you if you like eating carbs. And it doesn't have to be like that. And the reason why it fails is, well, it's not sustainable. Think about the carnivore diet. You might lose weight for 3 months, but you don't want to lose weight just for 3 months, do you? You want to lose weight for the rest of your life. You want to be lean year round. You want to have an amazing physique all the time. So why would you do a diet that only is going to get you, temporary results because it's a temporary diet? That's the thing. You got to think long term. It's not about, oh, I don't have enough time to start this. What the fuck? You don't have enough time? So are you gonna get fat when you don't have time? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with being fat every time you don't have time? You're too busy. Again, are you okay with that? Are you okay with being fat when you're too busy? What if you could be jacked and stay busy? Because you can do that when it works for you, when it fits in your schedule. So the time is always there. You just need to allocate to it. But let's say you've been doing everything right. Because there are some people that do eat clean, that do go to the gym, and they still fail. You know why that is? They're just showing up. They're just showing up, and here's the truth. Showing up isn't good enough. Not at all. No, when you go to the gym, and if you're just doing a workout that was made up off the top of your head, or you looked up a routine on TikTok and you're looking up, best exercises, that one looks good. I'm gonna try this one on TikTok today. And maybe next week I'm gonna do a different exercise on TikTok. Or like if you're hopping from plan to plan, from routine to routine because you see something new and that looks nice, or never gonna get the results. You have to have a structured routine. If you go to the gym and you didn't even hit a PR, like you just you just showed up because, you wanted to feel productive, and then you go home, you're in the gym, maybe you did a lot of exercise, maybe you were there for long, but you didn't actually push yourself, you didn't go that extra mile, I'm not gonna feel as good. When you give it your all, like actually train a failure, and a lot of people are afraid of failure. You shouldn't be afraid of failure. What happens if you fail? You gotta think about that. What happens if you fail? Worst case scenario, say you're on like a hack squat machine, you fail, you drop the weight, you fall to the floor, you're gonna be completely fine. It's safe, it's a machine, right? You can do that with a lot of exercises. Now, compound movements, compound lifts, probably wanna watch out for that. If you fail on a compound lift, you might injure yourself pretty bad. On a squat, you fall over, you break your back. That's not gonna be good. Always focus on the form. And so when you're doing these exercises, you need to be going as hard as you can while having good form. Don't push yourself to break your form. That's where it goes wrong. But when you prioritize your form and training hard, oh my goodness, you're just gonna be skyrocketing your gains at that point. And maybe some of you guys are tracking your food. You could be fucking up still. And it could be for multiple different reasons. It could be because your calories are too low. A lot of dudes I talk to want to drop body fat fast. They want the results fast. How can I get in shape fast as possible? Here's the thing. There are no hacks. You just have to have the fundamentals in place. You just can't be slipping up that bad, like slipping up and binge eating and doing all these things, these bad habits, smoking weed. That's what really is setting you back. It's not the fact that there's a magic trick that can, speed up the results for you. It's gonna come down to the consistency, and you need to build that versus trying to look for a quick fix, a quick little, magic pill. They aren't out there. They really aren't. Now, there's better things you can do, of course. Now, like, say you want something really fast, like you want the fast result, you want the six pack, getting lean for summer really, really fast. I mean, it's just going to come down to eating the right amount of food, because here's the downside of trying to do it fast. You starve yourself, you might lose a lot of weight, but you're going to lose your muscle mass. And then you aren't going to look good at the beach either. If you lose the muscle mass, you're going to be skinny. You're going to not have that dream physique. You're going to end up in the skinny fat stage still. But when you prioritize weightlifting, when you eat enough to fuel your body so you can hit the PRs in the gym, so you can increase your strength, increase your muscle mass, you will look a million times better than the guys that are starving themselves to get a six pack. They might get an ab, they might see their abs kind of, if they're lucky, but they're still gonna be skinny, they're still not gonna be strong, and they'll never feel complete. You feel complete in your physique, you feel more proud of yourself when you're more strong, when you're lean and jacked. That's what it takes. And so to find the perfect amount of diet, perfect amount of calories, that's gonna be a little tricky. You have to experiment with that. You have to weigh yourself every single day. The scale can hold you accountable. And that's what I'm talking about when I say have systems in place. Have a food scale, have a weight scale, have a MyFitnessPal tracking app. The weight in the gym is going up and the weight on the scale is going down. Oh my goodness, bro. You just unlocked the secret formula, and you keep doing that and you keep doing that. Now you've got an insane level physique. Because what's happening is you're dropping body fat while you're building muscle. You're getting stronger. That's building the muscle. And then the scale is going down and you're getting leaner. Now, here's the thing. The scale doesn't tell everything. And that's where people go wrong again, because they always rely on the scale. They don't rely on other external factors. Because think about it, the scale, when you're dropping body fat, there's many different, or when you're dropping weight, it's not always going to be body fat, right? There's water weight and there's muscle. So sometimes when you drop weight on the scale, like you're dropping water weight. You know, that's why the sauna, like sure, you might go in the sauna, you might sweat a lot, and then you might weigh less. But was that body fat? No. Most of that is just going to be water weight because you're sweating out that water. Now, that's why you take progress pics. That's why you look at your body fat. You look in the mirror, you see what body fat you are, and you adjust based on that. You adjust based on the weekly trend of your weight, of your body fat, of your energy levels, of your strength in the gym, and you make sure everything is perfect. And this is exactly why I offer one-on-one coaching, to give a tailored plan, to have all of this figured out for you, specifically for you, so you can guarantee get that goal you're looking for, whether it's the 10% body fat with a six pack or more muscle mass in just a couple months. That is why I offer a tailored plan, because it's so easy to never get the results if you're not following a routine. So if you're interested in that, you want the accountability, you want the mindset that's going to guarantee you consistency and build real results, and apply for coaching, link in my bio, or link in the description, or just DM me on Instagram. My Instagram DMs are always there. DM me a word train, DM me if you have a question about anything, you want a nutrition guide, I can send that to you on Instagram. There's two options. Being fat is hard, being jacked is hard. Choose your dream outcome. You can be fat for the rest of your life, struggling, and I mean, maybe you'll have a little bit more freedom with your diet and things like that. Sure, you might get to smoke, eat a couple more cheeseburgers and if you like cheeseburgers, well, that might feel nice, but it doesn't feel nice looking in the mirror seeing all those stomach rolls and those love handles, especially when you go to the beach, especially when we all know you want to be a man who lives up to his full potential. Every single day when you're not living up to your full potential, you feel like shit. So the other outcome is sticking to the plan when it gets hard. So that's what you need to do. You need to do your best to stick to that plan. I appreciate you guys seeing this video. Like, subscribe. Let's go. Peace.